I'm Eric Reeser. Despite 34 points from Bruce Thornton, Ohio State fell to number 14 Illinois last night, 88-80 at the shot. Thornton at one point made 9 straight shots. A 3-ball gave OSU a 34-33 lead with 5 minutes left in the first half. But that would be the only time OSU would lead en route to their second loss on the season. Buckeyes are 1-1 in the Big Ten. They'll dip out of conference Saturday night playing West Virginia at Rocket Arena in Cleveland. In the NHL, Tuesday, the Hurricanes beat the Blue Jackets 4-1. Carolina scored 3 in the third to hand Columbus a third straight loss. Jackets are back on home ice Thursday, taking on Ottawa. And in the NFL, the Colts signed 44-year-old Phillip Rivers to their practice squad Tuesday to address mounting injuries to their quarterback room. No word on his status for Sunday's game at Seattle. This update is sponsored by Lion's Den, the official store for pleasure, passion, and romance. Shop discreetly in-store or online. Unlock a world of confidence and connection at the Lion's Den.
Your morning just got more interesting. Distilled and barrel-picked for your listening pleasure. Bo Bishop, a local sports media legend. What William T. Sherman was to the Union Army, he is to Northern College football. A husband, a father, and middling youth sports coach. He's friends with Central Ohio sporting royalty.
I'm talking to Ohio State Athletic Director Ross Bjorken. Coach Day walking on with us right now. Good to see you, buddy. Good buddy Austin Ward. My good buddy Tim May, the Tim May Show. The great Doug Lavery's joining us.
Hi, everybody. Dom Barry here.
Oh, Reese came in and he handed me papers.
Yeah.
And then he said, "You see that button? That's the only button you need to worry about. Don't touch. There's 8,000 buttons in front of me." Oh, I didn't know what he was talking about.
The one that says on.
We blew the budget on this imaging, and only 2 guys answered our ad on Craigslist. Ryan Baker and Eric Reeser. Act accordingly. You're now listening to Bishop and Friends.
Bishop and Friends is sponsored by Diamond Seller, your true jeweler for over 75 years.
All right, let's do it live on a First Friday Miracle Edition of the program. Bo and the boys with you for the next 3. Loaded up on a First Friday Miracle Edition. Get your high or lower coming up at 10 o'clock. 10:30, Jake Trotter, ESPN college football analyst, going to drop by and spread a little bit of wisdom there. It is a Hey Guys First Friday. Get your Hey Guys questions into the fellas at 971BFS in the YouTube chat. We will answer those at 11. The winner gets that $50 gift card to our great friends at High Bank, the distillery tour as well. And then Rich Scarcella, our good buddy, the Reading Eagle, he will join us coming up at 11:30 on the behind the scenes of how Matt Campbell ended up the head coach in Happy Valley, and will it actually work? Also, you're officially endorsed at the end of the program. These are the headlines on I just was curious this morning what the ESPN headlines were like on their college football homepage. So I'm just going to read them verbatim. Big 12 commish, Irish AD's behavior egregious. ACC's social media campaign targeted Irish. Utah seeks private equity deal to boost revenue. Chesney aims to make UCLA premier program. Okay, so that one's a little bit about football. Arizona State's Dillingham wishes quarterback Leavitt well in the portal. Top-rated defensive tackle Woods of Clemson declares for the draft. Irish will push to keep Freeman an NFL amid NFL interest. And sources, 4 LSU coaches rejoin Rebels for college football playoff. That is the list of headlines on the college football homepage on ESPN. And as we embark on this postseason here, that's going to take place in 9 days with the first round of it, and then of course the Buckeyes will wait it out until New Year's Eve to get to the winner of Texas A&M and Miami. And it's coming on the heels of a college football regular season that was as popular as it's ever been. 3 Buckeye games were the top 3 rated games. The Big Ten has some problems. Ohio State has no problems. By the way, don't ever let the Big Ten drag you down. Their problems are not your problems. But more people are watching than ever. There's more money in the sport than ever. To this point, with the exception yesterday of Troy Aikman, who said he's done giving money to UCLA because they didn't even say thank you, there has not been any course correction in terms of boosters with NIL. To this point, with all of the chaos and all of the headlines that I just mentioned, the sport has never been more popular. But it is a little bit to me like a kid who keeps doing something nefarious while seeing positive results in his mind, knowing that at some point there will be a reckoning for all of this. Inevitably, you get caught. Inevitably, it catches up with you. I'm not smart enough to know what that's going to look like. I don't. I don't know what that's going to look like. I think it looked a little bit like what happened with LSU and Lane Kiffin this year. I think that's a little bit like it. I think it looked a little bit like Bo Prabula bouncing on Penn State, and I don't blame him for doing so, by the way. I think it looked a little bit like that. I think those are the cracks in the foundation of the sport, and of no fault of their own. Not Bo Prabula's fault that he wanted an opportunity. And by the way, it worked. He went and became the starting quarterback at Missouri, and they had a great year. He got hurt, but he had a great year. I don't blame Lane Kiffin for the calendar. You should be able to work wherever you want to work. And if you want to work in Baton Rouge and you want to live in Baton Rouge instead of Oxford, God bless you. We live in a free country. We have the ability to make choices. Those choices have repercussions. And that's kind of where I think the sport is right now. It's in this weird spot where it's never been more popular. The games, for the most part, have never been better. The quality of play is really good. The talent is immense. The star power is immense. The money is monstrous across the sport. It defies logic how much money there is in this sport. You could even argue, to a certain degree, when it comes to the television revenue, that these entities are undercompensated for what they're delivering. They're delivering the second most popular sport in this country to an audience every single week. And yet we can all see all of these things cropping up, and there's going to be more and more of them. And I don't have a lot of faith in the current leadership in the sport to right the ship, because their attitude towards this, anytime they've been tasked with righting the ship, has been to kick the can down the road and put a Band-Aid on a hemorrhage and get to another week. There has been in the 9 seasons since I've been back, and going back for 25 years covering major college football, there has never been anybody who I could identify as someone who wants to revolutionize or reset the sport or get it right or get it healthy. Everybody's goal and power is, how can I line my pockets as much as I can, as fast as I can, and push these problems onto somebody else. And I do think that the sport is getting very close. And by very close, I'm not saying the next 6 months, the next year. I'm talking the next 3 to 5. The sport is getting set for a reckoning, and it needs to have a reset. And there needs to be bold people, smart people. I would talk to people in the sport. There are some simple things that need to be done, and to me, they can be done relatively easily to keep this thing going in the right direction and keep it as beloved as it is to all of us. Because that's the overarching thing, is if you go back the last 40 years, one of the most regional sports in this country has become a national sport, the second most popular sport in this country. That's a remarkable thing that's happened. And it's the product and the passion and the pageantry and all of it that got it to that point. But it does feel like they're headed to a crossroads, and there needs to be some real leadership in a big, big way. Because here's the other thing, guys. I don't think we know the half of it. I don't think we know the half of what's going on behind the scenes.
No, and I keep thinking about, the news from Utah yesterday, the news last week that I think it's Dubai is going to be holding a college basketball showcase, that we're not far from more international we're not too far from Saudi influence into this whole thing, where money's and Saudi influence, PE influence, and more and more and more at the expense of the fans and the consumers. I do keep asking myself, will there be a breaking point for the college football fan? And so far you haven't found it. Because to your point, the numbers keep going up, but the ask keeps getting greater. Because in the reporting about Utah yesterday, they want to draw more revenue from places like tickets and concessions. And that strikes to me, and it's, nothing I'm reading that anybody else couldn't. They're just going to they're just going to raise ticket prices. They're going to raise stadium experiences. They're going to be building more luxury boxes for fans that have more in their pockets than the average fan. And this whole thing about the Big Ten and how gross it was that the conference itself was going to sell off a chunk of itself, that they thought they could buy the feeling that you have on Lane Avenue on Saturday. Surrounded by thousands of Ohio State fans going from Varsity Club to the O on Lane to every place that you grew up going to tailgates to before an Ohio State game. They thought they could buy that, and it feels like they're going to try, and that's going to really hurt the experience. But I don't know if it's going to stop us to the point where it's going to stop them.
It's going to be real interesting to see what the college football playoff TV numbers are this year. Mm-hmm. Because we know the college football playoff numbers were down a little bit last year.
In the quarters, yeah.
And especially when you have games like James Madison and Oregon and Tulane and Ole Miss, I'm guessing the numbers will be pretty down on games like that because most of us believe those are going to be blowout games, that they're not going to be competitive.
But I think there'll be sellouts in their stadium sites.
Probably. Maybe. They could be. But I wonder what the TV numbers are going to be because we talk about all the time about the administrators kicking the can down the road. Yeah. Well, of course they have been because their pockets have been getting lined and that's all they cared about. They were making money hand over fist and they still are. The only way it's going to change is if that stops.
Yep.
And to your guys' point, what is the point where that happens? What's the breaking point where people are like, I don't care about this anymore. I'm not going to tune in. The majority. Obviously, there's going to be people that always care, but when the majority quit tuning in, that's when they'll step in and change things, and I don't know if we're close to that.
No, I think if you think of it like when a rock hits a window and it spider webs, I think the rock's already hit, and I think there's little breaking points all over the spot, and I think the non-revenue sports are at breaking points having to do what the Big Ten non-revenue teams have to do with travel, which is absolute insanity. I think there's little cracks everywhere. And Reese, what you were talking about with tickets, and we see that here. I mean, look, I understand why they're doing it. I get it. I understand it. But we're charging for tours of Ohio Stadium. When I first got here, you could walk in any day you wanted. Doors were open.
I remember doing that.
Yeah, me too. Go walk in. You know, I mean, so that they have to find money, and the money's the key to all of it. And when that becomes something that's untenable, that's when there will be real change. And boy, there's a million different angles to this too, right? It's what do conferences look like in 5 years from now? What does a playoff look like in 5 years from now? Will somebody ever do the right thing and talk to the NFL about making a calendar to where they can both coexist in December and early January? That takes real leadership.
And it's also never somebody's fault or responsibility. It's always somebody else's fault and responsibility. Fingers are always being pointed.
Yeah, which does beg the question. If you were in this business and the better business came calling, would you pick up the phone? Marcus Freeman may be in that situation very, very quickly. We will get to that story coming up next. We're off and running on a First Friday. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
Tweet from a listener. Are you carrying the Buckeye game today? Considering we've never not carried one, yes. The answer is yes. The Fan.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Call 1-877-CARS for Kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Hurry! It's your last chance to donate for 2025.
Matty Ice here. The end of the year has almost arrived, so it's the perfect time to head up to McDaniel GM Superstore in Marion, where the savings are rolling all month long. You can lease a brand new 26 Chevy Equinox for just $225 a month for 36 months with $4,369 due at signing. Or if financing is more your style, grab it for only $225 a month for 84 months with $1,000 due at signing. Certain restrictions apply. They're just off Route 23095 in Marion, or you can visit McDanielGMSuperstore.com. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Warm up this winter by pushing a button with a remote car starter from Columbus Car Audio and Accessories. Step into a toasty and defrosted car and share the warmth with everyone on your shopping list. Beat winter weather with Columbus Car Audio and Accessories. Morse Road, Main Street in Reynoldsburg, or ColumbusCarAudio.com. People can't say enough amazing things about Vanscoy Hair Clinics. Men and women struggle with hair loss every day, and they completely change their lives. Vanscoy Hair Clinics is the only company in Ohio that has PRP, platelet-rich plasma, and a multi-unit hair grafting hair transplant procedure. Go to vanscoyhair.com for more info or call 614-432-8042. Here's what some of their hair transplant clients have said.
Around 26, 27, I lost almost all of my hair on top. It changed my life in ways that I could not imagine.
My hair is going to continue growing for the rest of my life. There is hope that you can do something about your hair loss.
Multi-unit hair grafting gives you 3 times more hair per procedure, saving you time and money. Hair transplants are more affordable than ever, and PRP is a fast, easy, and effective 45-minute treatment for thinning or damaged hair. Call Vanscoy for a free consultation, 614-432-8042, or visit vanscoyhair.com. That's 614-432-8042. Find out what procedure will restore your hair.
Morning Juice is now live on YouTube. Join Bobby Carpenter and Jeff Thidoff weekday mornings from 6 to 8.
Just search 971 The Fan to catch the live experience or watch on demand.
The Fan.
At the Ohio Lottery, we make Keno fun, your way. That means every few minutes across Ohio, 20 out of 80 possible numbers are randomly picked. And if some of the numbers you picked match, voila, you're a winner. Keno doesn't require you to know a single thing about sportsball or overs, unders, pluses, minuses, or lines, or whatever else. Keno is as simple as, did some of my numbers match? They did? Great. You just raked in some dough. There are more than 20 hours of Keno draws every day and thousands of places to play statewide. Lottery players are subject to Ohio laws and commission regulations. Play responsibly.
With Steel, batteries are included. This holiday season, give a gift that's ready to go right out of the box. For everything from cleaning up the yard to cutting up firewood, Steel tools check off the wish list and knock out the to-do list. And right now, buy select battery tool sets and get a free extra battery. Visit SteelUSA.com for holiday deals and gift ideas. Happy holidays from Steel. Offer valid for a limited time only at participating dealers while supplies last.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
We're tracking rainy and windy conditions here for today as winds gust up to 40 miles per hour. That's going to usher in some colder temperatures later on this afternoon. Eventually looking at some rain and snow showers through this evening into the early part of tonight. And temperatures dropping down to the 30s here by tomorrow with a few more flurries. And that's a look at your 10 weather impact forecast. I'm meteorologist Aaron White here on 97.1 The Fan.
Common man, a radio veteran, has a large hemorrhoid. Timmy Hall, a good, clean boy, moonlights as man's hemorrhoid. Common Man and Timmy.
Weekdays at 3.
The Fan. Distilled sports discussion, served in light beer quantities. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
Indeed you are, and get ready to play, win, and celebrate big at Eldorado Scioto Downs, your ultimate Caesars Rewards destination. With Caesars Rewards, you're going to earn rewards every time you play, stay, dine, or shop. Not just here, but over 50 Caesars Rewards destinations across the country. From unforgettable getaways to incredible culinary experiences, members enjoy exclusive perks and benefits that make every visit worth it. At Scioto Downs, the excitement is nonstop. Take your pick. More than 1,700 of the hottest new games. Sip on award-winning craft brews at the Brew Brothers Microbrewery, or dive into Guy Fieri's Trattoria, home of the out-of-bounds 68-layer lasagna. And the energy just keeps building. Scioto Downs has been chosen to host the prestigious Breeders' Crown in 2026, featuring 12 championship races. It's one of the biggest events in harness racing. It's coming right here to Columbus. So come experience the action, the rewards, the unforgettable moments that are waiting for you at Eldorado Scioto Downs, a Caesars Rewards destination where the rewards never stop. Must be 21 or older to gamble. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-589-9966 or visit Caesars.com/Scioto Downs for details on that. We had an interesting thing from Florio yesterday that I saw, among others, in regards to Marcus Freeman and NFL interest. And Notre Dame Athletic Director Pete Bavacqua had a press conference yesterday, which we can talk about a little bit too, and did acknowledge that he is aware of the potential NFL interest in Marcus Freeman, but pushed to retain Freeman and make him one of college football's highest paid coaches. Bavacqua said, quote, "Everybody has eyes on Marcus. College has eyes on Marcus. NFL has eyes on Marcus. I bet Hollywood has eyes on Marcus. He's the absolute best coach in the country for Notre Dame, full stop. One of the greatest college coaches in the country." I am smiling just because of how improbable all of this is for Marcus. I remember interviewing Marcus at his apartment. He had a condo in Times Square outside of in Dublin, when he was drafted by the Bears. and the disappointment that he fell and all of that, but the excitement of the opportunity. I remember seeing Marcus again. The next time I saw him was on the sideline where he was a defensive coordinator, I believe, for Darrell Hazel at Purdue, but it was in West Lafayette where I saw him again. And at that point, they were on very thin ice, and it was like, geez, boy, who knows if this is something that how can we keep this going at Purdue any longer? And then he goes to Cincinnati, and he's on with Luke, and he has to make that choice of LSU or Notre Dame. And Threes and I were doing the show at that time, and I said, man, I go to LSU because they fire a coach every 3 years. If he proves he can recruit down there, he can be the head coach at LSU. And Marcus went to Notre Dame. And ironically enough, within a year, the guy who he signed up to work for ended up at LSU, and then Marcus elevated. And in part, Marcus elevated because Notre Dame said, we cannot have this team evacuate on us in the middle of a season. And Marcus obviously has all of the things that you would want from a personality standpoint, but he'd never been a head coach anywhere, and he became the head coach at Notre Dame in short order. And the idea now that he's elevated to this point, it's just really cool. I'm just really happy for him. Urban had some thoughts on this too. He was on, I want to say, with Colin Cowherd, and he had some comments on Marcus saying, "Man, I wouldn't go anywhere. You control your roster, you control all those things." I think we maybe even ran that earlier this week, and I think he's right. I think for Marcus, it's going to be very difficult to see him ever leaving Notre Dame, and I think the only place that he would potentially leave for would be here. But that's probably it. I don't see another scenario. I don't know that why he would chase the NFL situation. I think his ability to affect young people, to control his roster, what he did this year in recruiting is one of the most remarkable things. He didn't have a single decommitment. Just think about that. Not a single one. That tells you that the messaging and the NIL was aligned. And he recruited the type of kids that wanted to be Fighting Irish, and they wanted to play for him. There aren't many schools in the top 25 in recruiting who pulled that off. So I hope he stays there, and I think that he probably will, barring something ever happening here.
He's 39 and has the opportunity to really build Notre Dame back into a yearly college football power. And it'll be easier for everybody once the playoff expands, that you're not going to have – I don't really see actually any situation where the Irish don't make the playoff as long as Marcus Freeman's there. Because I think in January they announce an expansion, and then it just becomes much easier for a 10-2, probably a 9-3 Notre Dame Fighting Irish team to make the college football playoff. And then once you're in, I think he's found as good of a balance as anybody in the country to recruit from high school and then to utilize the portal to fill needs. Mm-hmm. And as long as you're able to do that at the level that he's done it, which is top 5 in both categories, you'll be just fine, and that program will be just fine. You'll always get kids from the Chicagoland area and really across the country that want to play for Notre Dame, because I think the mystique's still there. It waned a little bit.
No, I think you're right. I think it's the mystique with Marcus.
Yeah.
I think the combination of Marcus and his, he's a handsome dude. He's charismatic. He's got energy. He speaks with determination. He was good at all these things when he played here. Dom and I used to have him and Threes on Wall to Wall Sports all the time, and him and James were ready for it then. They were really naturals when it came to media and speaking in front of people and inspiring people. It came very naturally to both of them. So to me, I just think where do you go other than staying right where you're at and building this powerhouse? Now, are there jobs out there that you'd go, boy, I don't like, can you turn down Texas, for example, if you want that lifestyle, you want to live in Austin? I don't know what his why is. I've been to South Bend, pretty remote. And obviously cold and dreary and small and all of those things, but it's pretty special too. If you've not been to their campus, all of the expansion that they do on campus is made to look exactly like what it's looked like for 100 years. So it's almost impossible for you to tell what is new construction and what is old, which is amazing because obviously they've had a ton of expansion and a ton of new buildings that are being built there, but you can't really tell the difference between new buildings and old because of the way the architecture is done.
That's it, right? What's Marcus's why? And if Ohio State ever came calling, I think that would be hard to say no to your alma mater.
Yeah.
Also, quality of life, because I'm guessing quality of life in the NFL as an NFL head coach is a lot better than a college coach right now because there's really no time off in the college game. You're always recruiting. You're always trying to keep your roster.
Yeah.
He's young enough at 39. He's got enough energy. But at some point, maybe that gets old on him. Maybe he gets tiresome. Maybe we all have egos to some extent. Maybe he wants to see if he can do it against the best in the world in the NFL. But right now, it sure seems like Notre Dame and Marcus Freeman are a perfect fit.
Yeah, I agree. And I think on the NFL, in my experience in the league, there are two types of coaches you can have. You can either have guys who are brilliant tacticians, offensively or defensively, and the reason that they get credibility is they show on the All-22, here's how I can make you money. My schemes are really good. You're going to be put in a position to succeed with these schemes. And then the other type of coach that works in the NFL is the follow me to freedom guy. So that's the Dan Campbell, Mike Tomlin, John Harbaugh. That's that type of guy. So at just 38 years of age, what type of coach would Marcus be? Would he be defensive innovator guy? That's probably the best one. But then in that instance, then you got to hire offensive staff and all of that. So again, it just comes down to like controlling your controllables. And right now, his spot, it's an up-at-dawn siege coaching college football now. Round the clock, 24/7, 365. There's no days off. And that's exhausting. But at his age and in his circumstance, to me, this feels like a perfect fit. And I think he's the perfect fit. And I think that's why Bavacqua was so outward with his praise of Marcus. Because I do think what Notre Dame does in the next 3 to 5 years, what they're able to do the next 3 to 5 years is going to be contingent on that football program being elite. Elite. Not Charlie Weiss, not Ty Willingham, not Bob Davie, not even late Lou Holtz, 80s Lou Holtz. Elite. Not Brian Kelly. Elite. Playing for national titles. They played for the national title like last year. That's the type of thing that they need to have consistently to fully flex what they can be when it comes time to determine what this whole sport's going to look like in the next 5 years. Because they're going to have a seat at the table. The question is, are they in a conference or not? And will all of this force them to be? And that's what was interesting about Bavacqua yesterday and the shots at the ACC. Because I think right now, and this seems crazy, but I think right now, like Notre Dame probably needs them more than they need Notre Dame. And acknowledging that both the Big Ten and the SEC would sprint for Notre Dame's signature and take it in a second. But for their non-revenue sports and even for football, how do they schedule if the Power Four decide we're not going to play you? And there's some of that going back and forth with USC with them right now.
Yeah, it goes back to the leadership vacuum that exists in college athletics in general, because you need to act on this now. If you're truly trying to get Notre Dame to join a conference, which I don't think will ever be the case, that this is the time you need to act on it. Like, it cannot wait. Like, this is where Notre Dame is as most vulnerable as they've ever been as a football power. Because the further you get into 2026, the more people will forget about this, and the more that this just becomes remember when that happened? It's like the Florida State thing. Oh, remember when that happened? Boy, that stunk. And I've got lunch in front of me.
Yeah.
Like, we have such quick, we're all goldfish.
So just to kind of buttress my point, next year, Notre Dame has 4 Big Ten teams on the schedule. USC, Michigan State, Purdue, and Wisconsin.
You're going to put the kibosh on that now. If you really, really want to press Notre Dame, it's got to happen now.
Yeah, 4 of them. They play Navy. Okay, that's fine. You can always do that. And the rest is ACC. Stanford's in the ACC. It's Stanford, Syracuse, SMU, Boston College, Miami, North Carolina. And then they play Rice. Like, if you're Notre Dame, how satisfied are your alumni with a steady diet of American teams coming in there? I'm guessing that's not going to do it. I think they're much more vulnerable than that they would lead on. The Buckeyes not vulnerable at all. Crushed it in terms of audience draw, the biggest in all of college football. They are indeed the world famous Ohio State Buckeyes. We'll get to that. And the Buckeye basketball team hosting Illinois last night. God, aesthetically, it was incredibly pleasing in regard to the uniform choices of the two schools. In terms of the play, especially the last few minutes, I have some thoughts on Big Ten officiating. We'll get to all of that in 2 minutes. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
I'm Leslie from Pella Columbus.
And I'm Wilson from that other window place.
One of the biggest reasons people get new windows, Wilson, is that old windows make for an uncomfortable uncomfortable house with crazy high roller coaster energy bills.
Leslie, people love being uncomfortable on roller coasters. The ups, the downs, the gurgling in your stomach because you had 5 corn dogs before getting on.
Did that happen to you, Wilson?
What? No.
Get the windows that can completely change the look and feel of your home at PellaColumbus.com.
Great Lakes Hyundai. The savings are so good.
These savings are so good. Right now, get low lease payments on every model, like a new 2026 Elantra SE for just $119 a month for 24 months. Plus, get owner assurance and America's best warranty. A 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain coverage. Go now. Columbus or Dublin or glakeshyundai.com. With approved credit, $39.95 down plus taxes, fees, first month payment. 12 miles per year, ends 1/2/26.
Gift big this year with a Home for the Holidays raffle. You have a chance to win a beautiful new custom home or cash prize this holiday season and help make wishes come true for Make-A-Wish kids with critical illnesses. Raffle proceeds benefit Make-A-Wish OKI, which has granted over 22,000 wishes to children facing critical illnesses across the Ohio, Kentucky, and Indiana region since 1983. This year's house was built by 3 Pillar Homes in the Evans Farm community in Lewis Center and has 3 bedrooms, 2.5 baths, and a 2-car garage. It also includes amazing features like upstairs laundry, 2 covered patios, 1 with a fire pit, a great room with fireplace, mud room with extended bench seat and open lockers, kitchen and morning room. One lucky winner will be announced on December 24th, so get your $100 ticket now. Just visit ahomeffortheholidayscolumbus.org to buy your tickets. That's ahomeffortheholidayscolumbus.org. Terms and conditions apply.
Bishop and Friends is sponsored by Diamond Seller, your true jeweler for over 75 years. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
What's up?
What's up, man? What's up with you?
Sponsored by Newman Roofing. For all your roofing, gutter, or siding needs, call Newman Roofing today at 614-NEW-ROOF or visit online at newmanroofing.com.
All right, here's what's up on a First Friday Miracle edition of the program. The Buckeyes are up, officially out there now. Fox announcing yesterday Ohio State's Big Ten championship game loss to Indiana drew a record-breaking audience of 18.3 million, the most watched Big Ten title game ever, second most watched game in college football this season. The Michigan game was number 1, 18.4. Ohio State, Indiana, 18.3. Then Alabama, Georgia, 16.9. Ohio State, Texas, 16.6. This is the real truth on the ratings this year. This is the battle that's kind of being waged. Fox has Ohio State. Ohio State played 3 marquee games this year, and those marquee games rated bonanza. The SEC won the year in that if you looked at the top 50 games this year, the vast majority are the Southeastern Conference. Again, this is not an Ohio State problem. It's a Big Ten problem. They didn't play enough hits. They didn't do enough to build brands outside of the Buckeye brand. And so this is what you're stuck with, whereas if Ohio State's in the window, you're going to rate. If they're not in the window, nobody else in this league has proven that they've been able to carry it. Michigan is second. They're the second most liked. And then it would be interesting to see how USC and Oregon and Penn State and all of those kind of sort out. My hunch is it would be Oregon at this point, would be probably the 3rd most valuable brand in terms of putting eyeballs on it. But again, this is not a Buckeye problem. It's a Big Ten problem. The bottom of the league's really bad, and there's a lot of unwatchable games because they didn't play the hits. I mean, Ohio State didn't play Indiana, Oregon, or USC this year. It's a bad job.
I get USC on the calendar next year, but
great.
The idea that it took this long for those 2 brands, those 2 historic college football brands, to play each other is ridiculous. And help us, Kurt Signetti. You might be our only hope. If you want any alleviation from this Big Noon fiasco, it's probably going to have to come from Indiana and maybe Penn State. Maybe. I think that's at least a year out from Matt Campbell and trying to resurrect that program into something where a network like Fox would be like, sure, we'll take them over whoever else Ohio State's playing. I mean, these numbers...
Reese, how many do we have? Ohio State, Rutgers? I mean, how many big games do we have? Just utter nonsense.
Yeah, I don't know if it'll ever get to the 6 in a row that was last year.
Oh, God.
But it certainly felt like you had 3 in a row on Fox in some form or fashion. And I can sense it from Buckeye fans. I feel it myself. Fox just isn't it anymore.
It's a tough watch. I mean, the amount of commercials, when they take the commercials, it's a long, tough watch. I was talking to a buddy who just primarily watches the NFL. He's like, is this what every college game's like? You watch the Big Ten championship game? No, they're not all 4.5 hours long.
I had to do it twice this year. The one time was the Washington game, and the other was this Big Ten championship game where I had to go back and watch the Big Ten in 60.
Yeah.
To kind of catch up on the game because I saw bits and pieces, but not the whole thing. That between a Fox broadcast is just night and day. And I understand when you're cutting out all the fluff and you get it all in an hour, it's definitely different than a normal game. But, man, it sure does seem like there's a lot of unnecessary in a Fox broadcast.
Yeah, there is. Speaking of unnecessary, Big Ten officiating on the basketball side of things, unnecessary. It's unwatchable. It's a bad television product. This thing that I watched last night
on Peacock.
Let me do the basketball first, and then I'll get to the get off my lawn stuff. Bruce Thornton had a first half where he was essentially unguardable. He only missed one shot. I mean, he only missed one shot. He's basically unguardable. Played about perfect. And Ohio State was down 6. And I was watching with the boys, and I go, oh, that's not good. And they go, what do you mean? Thornton's unbelievable. I'm like, yeah, he had the best half you can have, and they're down 6. They don't have the firepower to hang with that Illinois team. That Illinois team, that's a Final Four team. That's an Elite 8 team. That's an elite college basketball team. Ohio State's not on that level yet. And I do think they'll get there with Jake. I think he's doing a lot of the right things. I think it's coming along, but they're not there yet. But I thought Thornton was exceptional. I don't, as great as he is, and this is going to sound backhanded. It's not intended to. I just don't think you can be a Final Four team if he's your best player.
No, you're absolutely right.
And
he
it's
can't
not
be
a
Batman.
shot at him. I know it comes across that way because he was brilliant. God, he was 34, 6, and 6. He missed one shot in the first half, had 24 at the break. Illinois couldn't handle him in any way. But the way that the game is played now, I just don't know that if you can make that run with him as your best player. And he's clearly the best player on this team.
I've been saying that for a while, and people get angry.
Yeah.
But it's just the truth. And when I look at this Ohio State basketball team, where's the pro? Maybe that's Amari Bynum. Maybe. But he's young in his development. Matthew Grujicic, although he didn't even see the floor last night, maybe he's just 17. Maybe he could develop into something at 6'7".
Mm-hmm.
Bruce is a really, really good college basketball player, but he's never going to play in the NBA.
Not be a dude. I mean, the size.
He'll be maybe an end-of-the-bench guy, but he's probably going to play a lot of college basketball in Europe. And again, we're not knocking Bruce. He's a really, really good college basketball player. And where would this Ohio State program be without him? My goodness.
Yeah. Right.
But there's just no pro. There's no guy that's going to get you there. Maybe next year when Anthony Thompson comes in, maybe you got something. And Amari Bynum, another year of him. It just sure seems like they're going to be fighting to get into the tournament again.
I think that's the good word, fighting to get into the tournament. And that was the expectation, that they would make the tournament. So that's what this is going to be. I mean, Illinois, Bo, what you were saying about them being a team that will make a run in March, I was interested to see how Christoph Tilley would go against actual center bigs in the Big Ten. Early return, not great, but nobody was really great outside of Bruce.
Yeah.
And I think that can give you stuff to be very, very cautious and maybe negative about going into the year. But they're only 1-1 in Big Ten play. I think it gets better because you were still in it the second half. You never, what was it? You were maybe down 1 point, and then somehow Gabe Cupps got matched on one of their big Eastern Europeans. And I go, well, that isn't going to work. But it's time. You have time to work.
Yeah.
Not much.
No, I never thought they were going to win. I just didn't think they were ever going to win. I just think Illinois had an answer to everything. Anytime it got interesting, to your point, they got Cupps plays his ass off, but he got switched, and there's not much he can do about it. I'm going to have to talk to Rhyme Time about this. Those guys dressed in orange with the cigarettes and the bowler hats behind the Illinois bench, I'm for all those guys. My kid's like, are they smoking? I said, I don't think it's a real cigarette. I don't think it's that.
Like vape pens?
They were like older dudes, like with beards, dressed as like a Serbian army or something. It was unbelievable. I'm for all those guys. There is a pound of flesh that has been taken from the Buckeye basketball fandom over the course of the last decade. The end of Thad, and after the beginning of Holtman, the end of Holtman, left in, and I think coupled with a television partnership that is doing them absolutely no favors. You have a program that Jake is trying to dig out, I think, of a pretty big hole in terms of an interest standpoint. I think that this fan base was neglected in terms of quality basketball for damn near a decade. And so when I'm watching this game last night on a Tuesday night in a primetime window, 7:30, and I see nobody in the upper deck, I go, geez, that's how bad this has gotten. I mean, this was a 7-1 team against the 13th ranked team in the country, your Big Ten home opener, and the entire upper level is empty. And that's not on Jake. That's on an apathy that has taken place here over the better part of the last decade when the program started to deteriorate. And so you got to win all of that back, and it's tough. It's really tough. Once you lose them, it's really hard to win them back. So winning will help, and you need to just do that consistently. Game times, all those things will help. But I also think it really sucks. And I know this one was on YouTube TV here locally. You were able to see it, I believe. I had somebody on social tell me that you were able to see it on YouTube TV. Were you able to see this thing, or did you have to go through the app?
I did Peacock.
Yeah, I did too.
But
mine was glitchy.
The not dead NBC Sports Network had it available.
Okay.
But I don't have that.
My Peacock was glitchy. It was driving us nuts.
So that would be why it was on YouTube TV, if that's the case, if they put it on NBC Sports Network, because it's back, it's living again, but it's only on YouTube TV right now.
I think so, yeah. And this has been an epidemic for you could probably go back. I mean, there's a reason that Bobby Knight threw a chair 40 years ago, because the officiating in this league, they really think it's about them. They really think
one of them was high-stepping last night.
Oh, yeah. They really think that the audience wants to watch them call a game. That was unwatchable, the last 5 minutes of that game. I didn't even know that there were 48 personal fouls. I know both teams were in the double bonus for about the last 15 minutes. That's a failure. That is a failure. It's not watchable. It's not. It's a disaster. And this has been a problem in this league for a long time. Teddy Valentine, of course, everybody remembers that. There's been a million other of these guys. We shouldn't know your names. We shouldn't even notice that you're there. And it feels like every time Big Ten games are played, the last 5 minutes last 45 minutes because of all the stupid fouls and all the stupid television timeouts.
48 fouls called last night in that basketball game.
It's not watchable. That is not watchable at all. And by the way, if with all the TV timeouts, you get 3 timeouts, that's it. No 20s. No, 3 timeouts. That's it. You got plenty. You got 4 clock stoppages naturally that come with the TV timeouts. It's enough. It shouldn't take that long to play a basketball game.
I always liken officials to offensive linemen. I shouldn't notice you.
No,
you shouldn't stand out.
Big Ten goes the other way. They really believe you're there to watch them. You mentioned how it feels like the Buckeyes are going to be there chasing the postseason. It feels like the Blue Jackets are going to be in a very similar spot. I had a very interesting feeling last night watching both of these games. We'll get to that coming up next. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
We have so many local shows, I can't fit them in a 10-second promo. So let's just say we're live and local all damn day. The Fan.
Men, we hear it all the time. A man comes in to get his erectile dysfunction treated, and very soon thereafter, he tells us that his relationship is renewed. This is Jeff for Tri-State Men's Health, and you should know that ED doesn't just affect you, it also often affects your partner. They can feel undesired, unwanted, they may even feel like you don't love them anymore. At Tri-State Men's Health, we've successfully treated thousands of men for ED with protocols that have success rates as high as 90%, which means if you're like most men, we can get you back to the guy you used to be. You could even last up to an hour or more and find you're performing like you haven't in years. So call us today and give your partner the gift of renewed love. Your first visit is only $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in our office, your visit is free. Call 800-900-9654 or go to tristatemenshealth.com. That's TriStateMen'sHealth.com. We have 2 convenient locations in the area to serve you in Hilliard and Westerville. Tri-State Men's Health, a Promenic restorative health practice.
Dormar, you're kind of hero.
Common Man and Bob Capace here for Worthington Jewelers. Bob, why should people trust you for their holiday shopping this year?
Family owned and operated for 25 years. We're known for helping guys make great decisions, unlike me hiring you, Common Man.
You know, I was thinking, I've been a good, clean boy this year. You got anything for me over there?
How about a nice anklet?
Sold! Worthington Jewelers on High Street in Worthington. WorthingtonJewelers.com, where Columbus gets engaged.
Does your vehicle need maintenance, but you don't have time? Krieger Ford's got you covered. Enjoy our convenient pickup and delivery service, or we come to you with our mobile service van. It's fast, easy, and hassle-free. Schedule your appointment today, only at KriegerFord.com.
Do you hate holiday pictures because of your teeth?
What if a brand new smile was possible?
No matter what the current state of your mouth.
Welcome to Runyon Dental Group, home of the Implant and Smile Center,
where gorgeous, healthy smiles become a reality.
At Runyon, we've built a team of some of the most highly trained arch and implant doctors in the entire nation. This isn't an ordinary dental practice.
We believe that everyone can have a great smile.
Including you, especially you. Your new smile is waiting at Runyon Dental Group.
Picture it, your holiday table, the family cooking together, the scent of golden brown bread, rosemary from roasted potatoes, and a salad so crisp it snaps. This season at Kroger, make the moments that matter possible with quality that's affordable in every aisle. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
It's a great time to save on 2 packs of Kroger butter. 16-ounce packages are on sale for only $5.99 each with your card. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Love football, love wings? Put those bad boys together and you get Austin and Byrne live at Roosters.
Presented by Bryant Heating and Cooling.
Large amounts of football and all the donkey sauce you can handle. Mondays on the Fans YouTube channel. Dormar, you're kind of hero.
When your furnace or air conditioner is broke, we come out that same day. Dormar, home the Tin Man.
Would you enjoy watching a football game if the officials were paid a bonus for every flag they threw? Or a basketball game where the refs got paid for every foul they called? Okay, how about hiring a furnace and AC company that pays its technicians by the number of parts they can sell you? Hi, this is Dennis, president of Care Heating and Cooling, and today, this is how many companies operate. They call it performance pay, and it rewards technicians by paying them more for billing you more. Why is this bad? Because it abuses your trust in a technician to be treated fairly and honestly. At Care, we've been family-owned for 31 years and have always paid our technicians by the hour for repairs. We'll show you exactly what needs to be fixed and why, and give you our low upfront cost before we start. And unlike other companies, our technicians will never be rewarded for throwing more flags. Our Central Ohio-based staff is here for you 7 days a week. Care Heating and Cooling. Book an appointment online at careheatingandcooling.com or call us at 1-800-COOLING. When you need a company you can trust.
It's almost Football Friday. All play and no work.
Sponsored by Tansky Sawmill Toyota.
Your home for football, the Fan. Pull up a stool and ask the bartender for something neat, because Uncle Bo is on the radio. This is Bishop and Friends.
The Columbus Blue Jackets would be a hell of a team if they only had to play 2 periods.
Best team in the league.
Might be the best team in the league if they only had to play 2. This one was disappointing. They had a lot in this. Jody was pretty confident that you'd get the best that they have to offer. You did not. You got given up 3 goals in the third. Scored first again, but it goes in the books 4-1. Jackets hosting Ottawa tomorrow night at 7. Here is Dean Evison on the game getting away in the third.
Well, I mean, we're in it, right? We talked to the group about just staying patient and, you know, let's just keep playing the way that we're playing, because we played really well and then we make a mistake and turn it over and ends up in our net, and then we're chasing it again. So, but again, I don't want to keep harping on it, but for 2 periods we were pretty good. We were doing all the right things, 2.5, all the right things, and we're in that hockey game. We have a chance, and then we make an error and it ends up in our net, and yeah, it's frustrating for sure.
All right, Reese, let's go with the one where he talks about staying the course, because I want to talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, 100%. And you just got to stay the course and, as I said, simplify. And we'll have a good chat. Obviously tomorrow we'll take off, and then we'll have a good chat, morning skate, and we'll reinforce, how we're going to win hockey games moving forward.
All right. Do we need to reevaluate what this is? I mean, because at this point, I talk to Jody about this all the time. We're 30 games in. You're 30 games in, and you're basically a point a game team. So 81 ain't going to do it. That's not going to be close from a points accumulated standpoint. And it'd be a little bit more than that, but no, it wouldn't be. It'd be right at that. It'd be 81, 82, something like that. A point a game is what they play 82 games. That's what you're talking about. Somewhere between 80 and 85, 86. That's not going to do it. You're going to have to be a lot more than that. What my fear is, and watching these two things at the same time last night, is that what these two operations have been for the better part of the last decade is what it feels like we're headed towards, which is Buckeye basketball, bubble in or bubble out, and the Columbus Blue Jackets maybe doing their best to chase the 8, but I don't even know if they're going to get there now. Bake, I know you watch all of this very closely. We're 30 games in. Do we just accept this is who they are?
Well, I don't think this should be a surprise, right? Because they didn't change the team really from last year. That was a team that fought till the end and missed out on the playoffs on the last day. Mm-hmm. So I think this is what we kind of should have expected from these guys. The disappointing thing to me is I look at Connor Bedard, and I don't think anybody said Adam Fantilli was Connor Bedard, but Connor Bedard has 41 points, I believe, on the year. Mm-hmm. I look at Leo Carlsson, and Leo Carlsson has 38 points on the year, is wearing an A on his chest, and leading the way for Anaheim. And Adam Fantilli, I think Adam Fantilli's playing pretty good, but he has 21 points. And his ice time has gone up here recently as he's been promoted to the top line. There should be no more training wheels on Adam Fantilli. He should be the guy that's out there at all the key moments. Sean Monahan's a really good player. Charlie Coyle's a really good player. Boone Jenner is a really good player. They're not your franchise. Adam Fantilli is supposedly, him and Z and Marchie, your franchise. You need those guys out there at the most important moments of the game. And one of the things with these young guys is they have to learn how to win. And it's why I was so frustrated at the beginning of the year when you saw Boone Jenner and Charlie Coyle out there at all the key moments, because how is Adam Fantilli supposed to learn how to win if he's not out there in the moments where you need to win?
Yeah.
This did feel, having both on at the same time, that with the Blue Jackets, you had a team that you're not at the level of in the Carolina Hurricanes. The Buckeyes, you're not at the level of the Illinois Fighting Illini, but you needed to be competitive the entire game against both. And the Blue Jackets, you had the 40 minutes, and then the 20 minutes, it was the same old, same old. At least that's what it felt like to me watching it. And same with the Buckeyes. It was a lot of late, save us, Bruce.
Yeah.
And that's been too much of a problem for both teams the last couple of years, to where you asked that question, do we need to reevaluate what the finality of the season looks like? Probably, but I'm not willing to go there yet.
Yeah, I think what Bake said is it's part of a bigger conversation, but I do think that last year, the tragedy at the beginning and the emotional waves that they had to ride last year, I think in a certain extent carried them to the outdoor game. And you had this magical day where you have one of the great days in sports in this town. And I think I'm starting to think, because we're 30 games in, that it gave a false sense of how good this team is. That maybe it made it hell, Jody was on. We did it in the preseason. He talked about this being the number 2 seed in the East. Like, and I know he's optimistic. He should be. He works for the team. But, like, I do think that we had a little bit of false sense. And I think what it comes down to your point, Bake, is then it's like you got a coach who's trying to win games now. Meantime, if you go back a couple of years, like before Johnny Gaudreau signed even, this organization was ready for a reboot, a down-to-the-studs reboot. And that's kind of not where they are now. So they're kind of in that in-between place. Like, I don't know enough about hockey to understand all of it, but certainly I've watched it my whole life. And the idea, like, Ken Johnson's a high draft pick. Like, go play. Go make mistakes. Go play. Like, Adam Fantilli playing every big moment. Like, go. I just think that's where they are, and that's tough for veteran coaches because they like how veterans play. But you're 30 games in now, and you are not effective in the third period at all, and you're not effective in the division at all. And that's a really tough way to go about your business. Real quick, Beck.
It's interesting you say that about veteran coaches, though. And Joe Quenneville, I think, is one of the top 3 coaches in hockey history, and he's in Anaheim right now.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not doing that. He's relying on those young guys. He knows those are his best players, and he's just letting them go play.
Let them play. Yeah, you're right on Carlson. I mean, they're the best seed. They're top of their division, Anaheim is. We'll do a little higher, lower. Second hour coming up next. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
If you haven't thought about Buckeye football today, I'm sorry to tell you that you're dead. Our condolences. Your home of the Buckeyes, The Fan.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. If you've hit your medical deductible, now's the time to see Dr. Mark Levy. Get a custom oral appliance that stops snoring and helps you ditch that CPAP and pay less out of pocket. Call 1-800-MORE-SLEEP or visit sleepbettercolumbus.com before the year ends.
It's the year-end sales event with the Ford crew.
It's sales event time, Sam.
Temperatures are dropping, but the deals are just getting hot.
Time for our annual Ford Holiday Gift Guide.
Oh, yeah.
Hard to go wrong with great deals on trucks and SUVs from Ford, America's all-time best-selling auto brand.
Don't forget the first rule of holiday gift giving, Hank.
What's that, Sam?
Always remember to treat yourself, too.
Well said.
Based on Automotive News Almanac historical data and industry-reported sales data from 1909 through 2024 CY.
Career changers, including veterans and active duty service members. Your transition starts here. Go from GI to IT in a matter of months. Become a certified cyber warrior with training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, offering IT pros great opportunities and a rewarding lifestyle while protecting our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. Deploy your career in IT today at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP, an elite CompTIA certification partner.
VA education benefits are available to those who qualify.
Timmy Hall here, proud to be back for my 4th year supporting Nationwide Children's Hospital and Light Up the Lawn, Light Up a Life. The holidays can be tough for kids and families spending it in the hospital. So now through December 31st, more than 100 giant illuminated butterflies will shine on the hospital lawn, each one sparkling to life with every single donation. When patients see those butterflies glow, they'll know their community's thinking of them, sending waves of hope and joy. So let's do this together. Let's light up the lawn and light up a life. Donate now at nationwidechildrens.org/give.
James Laurinaitis here for my guys at Green & Sons, the premier Kubota dealership in Central Ohio. Green & Sons has all the Kubotas you need to tackle your land and come out a winner. They have zero-turn skid steers, tractors from 18 to 171 horsepower, and also utility vehicles. My favorite is my RTV Sidekick. The best thing about Green & Sons is they've been family-owned and operated since 1970, and you will love dealing with the Green family and their winning team. Do what I did and check out Green & Sons located in Mount Sterling and Marysville or online at greenandsons.com for all your Kubota needs.
Timmy Hall and real common man here for our friends at Hollywood Casino Columbus.
We've got plenty of holiday specials for you this month. You can enjoy a 4-course wine dinner at the lounge at Final Cut. Plus, there's holiday takeout specials.
And we got happenings on New Year's Eve.
What's happening?
Winning. You could win a 2026 Chevy Traverse, $35,000 in cash, or $50,000 in Penn slot play.
Become a member of our rewards program on the Penn Play app and get a $20 dining credit.
It's all going down this month at Hollywood Casino Columbus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Hey, it's Anthony, and it's Happy Honda Days at your main Honda of Dublin. What am I going to give you? How about rates as low as 0%? You want no payments for 90 days? You got it. Do you have a trade-in? I'll make sure Rich gives you an extra $1,000 for your trade. Yep, an extra $1,000. Or I'll slide you right into a brand new Honda with leases starting from only $239 a month. Happy Honda Days right now at your main Honda of Dublin on Sawmill Road, just south of 270, or online at yourmainhondaofdublin.com.
At Metal Supermarkets, we're all about getting you and your crew to quit in time sooner. That's why our service is a cut above. You see, no matter the project, we'll get you to the right metal, shape, and grade. Cut to any size, ready real fast. And yeah, we'll deliver, leaving plenty of time for the important things, like opening an ice-cold can of aluminum. Metal Supermarkets, the convenience store for metal.
Millions of fans agree. This Christmas tradition rocks. Trans-Siberian Orchestra, live in concert, presenting The Ghosts of Christmas Eve, the best of TSO and more. December 23rd, 2 shows, Nationwide Arena. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. Trans-Siberian Orchestra. A portion of the proceeds benefits the James and Heather Pick Music Program.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. Don't let your insurance benefits go to waste. End the year sleeping better with Dr. Mark Levy's oral appliance. No mask, no noise, just results. Hurry, deductibles reset.